Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019. This is Career Mode, episode number 60, and this is possibly the most important episode of the series up till this point. We easily made Continental Pro this season, without a doubt, and we are very, very close to World Tour status already. As we move forward to tomorrow, we may see that we have already achieved that status. But with it being the 1st of August, come tomorrow, after this day flips over, the signing period begins, and we're going to be doing all of our signing immediately. So it all comes down to this day. In the past, PCM 2018 and before, the budget that you are given, you cannot exceed. I've been told you can exceed it this year. I did not discover that last season because I assumed you couldn't. But as long as you sign them all at once and you've already got them agreed to a deal, you can go over budget. So as we begin the transfer period, and we have plenty of dossiers that hopefully work out in our favor, and we'll find out about that soon, but the transfer market, it's open. So this is big. Katusha Alpsin budget down, Bari Marita budget up. Before we get into it, if we can go over, in fact, if that is a thing, and I'm going to go with the assumption that yes, it is a thing, then what can we do? How do we do that? Well, we'll get to that in just a second. That's finances. I want to see how close we are right now, because just released today, this is where the teams are as they stand right this moment. Bora Hansgrohe, Lotto Soudal at 4 stars, Trek, Ineos, on down to us, 3.5 stars. Okay, so we are already pushing World Tour right now before I even go in and sign anyone. But that's because most of the team is returning. There are plenty of riders out there that are not. So if we go in and kind of get an idea where we're at before anybody gets into negotiations, right? We've got Evenepoel and Philipsen coming back. Okay, that's the key. That's why our ranking is as high as it is at this moment. But you could see AG2R have 8 riders signed at this moment. So there are a lot of expiring contracts out there. And as these teams begin to fill out those rosters again, these guys are going to bounce right back up to where they were. But if CCC was a World Tour team at 3.5 stars, we're already in the neighborhood, but we still need to get better. So I need to do everything in my power to sign the quality of riders, right? Because look at these guys. Groupama FDJ, just 6 riders signed up right now. They're going from 4 stars down to 3. Carapaz, the only rider they have of any kind of talent right now. They have 4 departures guaranteed, end of career guys, but then where's the other 20? How many of those are they going to retain? How many are going elsewhere? And how many other riders do they bring in? Lotto Soudal had 30 riders. They're down to 13. They're still 4 stars. So this is, far from a done deal that we're in. I need to do whatever is in my power to make sure we get into World Tour so we can make that jump. So first off, I need to analyze finances. Not the easiest thing to do, but really not that complicated either. So we bring in $125,000 per month. Right now, actually, our rider salary budget we're not even maxing it out. It was 115,700. So we're not at the total end, but your staff salary is considered to be part of that. We exceed that, and I already learned how to exceed that one. Sign you guys after you've signed your writers. So my staff, right, if we take a look at that real quick, they should all have expiring. They don't have expiring contracts. They expire in a year. We only have 3 of them with expiring contracts this year. It's a little tricky that they're all multi-year deals, but we'll have to try to work around that as best we can. We might have to release a guy or two if need be. I think we should be okay though, especially if this works as expected. Keeping the same staff, no change to staff. If that's that piece, okay. Right now, we expect to see exactly 25,000 more per month coming in. So there's already 25,000 more that we can spend. And then, if you look at our income versus our spending, we're making money. We've made 200,000, over 200,000, and the season's not quite done. So at that rate, we're making at least a positive balance of 20,000 per month when you count winnings. So without even going into the red on a monthly balance, we could cover another 20,000. But then we have a balance. We have a balance of 633,930. We have money to spend. Now, we can't bleed money year after year after year after year, but we could bleed money in the short term to try to get the team up. I wouldn't want to use all 600,000 next year. That would be ridiculous, and we'd be in real trouble the following year. But we could certainly spread that out over a couple years and wait for our income to tick up over the next couple years. So if we did that, you got to figure we could definitely cover maybe even as much as another 40,000, right? That would be 400,000. But if we're in World Tour, you got to figure our amount in winnings could and should go up. Bigger races, bigger prize pools. So we could already negate some of that right off the bat next year. So you would have maybe 60,000 that we could go over. So 210,000, I think that's pushing it. Maybe 200,000 would be a little safer. But if we're up to 150 next year, if we're up to 175-ish the year after that, right? You're not bleeding money at that point. The balance works itself out. So that's our starting angle. 210 max, probably should aim for 200, but we'll see what we can do in signings first. With the extension, we do stay with Facebook another season. It's kind of the safe choice. We know where they're at in terms of sponsor demands, in terms of American writers, and we have American writers. Let's begin. Okay, what was the final outcome on these guys? No change. No change at all to Van Barl, Peterson, Bookman, 97. So, no change. Like, none. These guys, the only ones, and we're the only ones. We get 4 guys at 95% plus. We get 7 guys at 90% plus. But it's just the same as they were. I mean, it's just the same as Mike Tunison down at 65%. That's really unfortunate. That's going to cost us to get these guys signed. It's going to cost us a lot to get those guys signed. There are other writers that have high interest level as well, though. Stefan Kung, Fabio Jakobsen, Egan Bernal, Miguel Angel Lopez, and Rowan Dennis. Of those, you have a 23-year-old Egan Bernal, who is one of the best riders in the world, and this year's Tour de France winner in real life, and in real life is 21, 22 years old. I think we start there. If we can sign a 78 average Egan Bernal, who brings a bit of everything, that's a huge step, right? Before I do that, there was one more thing that I do need to check, and that is, what's our start point? What is our base point? Because we're not already at that 125. We are coming down just a little bit. Really, you're not gonna... Can we do it this way? There we go. Okay. So we were at 115. We're coming down by 15,000. So we're at 100,000 right now. So we have 100K right now. We've got about 100,000 to spend. I would like to re-sign McNulty, Narvaez, and Ooms. All three of them. They are all interested at 100%. That might not be a bad starting point, just to see what our retention of these three guys are. I mean, they're all 22, 23 years old. Cassart, yeah, he's done. We're done with Cassart. We will not re-sign him. He's not improved at all. Has no potential. So we will let him walk. All right, let's do this. Let's do this. Big day. Big day. So, yeah, before we get to Egan Bernal, let's go for a little Brandon McNulty. He was at 3,500. I know he's going to want more. Wow, yeah, see, they've already got us pegged at 21,000. So remaining is just 27,500. That's a little tricky because that does put a cap on what we can spend. But hopefully it's only a small piece of that. I knew McNulty was going to want a big pay raise, and at 74, that's awfully big. But we should be able to get him to take a bit less than that, and hopefully sign up for a lot of years. We'll put him as leader, not absolute leader, and see what he does in that regard. Let's see, 11-8. Will he... Okay, obviously not happy with really either of these things, but I think it's going to take that bit more. Wow, that did not make much difference. Absolute leader. Salary coming up a little bit more. Okay, there you go. 15.8. It's not great, but he is re-signed, and he was the more expensive of them. Okay, Narvaez. Hopefully he is not demanding anywhere near as much, and he's not. That's good. 3 years. Good leader. Try 8,000. Okay, we're not far from it. 9,000. Did you change at all? Was there any change at all on that one? I don't see how, if he wanted 10,000, how we would have to go above that to get him signed when everything else is good. And yet it feels like I'm going to have to go over 10,000. He's not happy with 10,000? That's just odd. Like, that was his base ask. And he doesn't want to sign? I'm so confused by that. How is offering him more than what he asked for not going to sign him when he's happy with everything there? Wow, okay. Well, yeah. Interesting. That was very interesting. I haven't seen that one before. Okay, he's asking for 96. No, you're not an absolute leader. We'll make you a leader, though. Not much patience for him. Again, we're going to have to offer him more than what he's asking for when he's actually happy with everything. And then that salary's not going to please him. That's just odd. But we do get signed. We lose Narvaez, though. Now we have a couple easy ones here. 21-year-old climber. Help fill these out. Now we're at, what was that, 26 for those two. This should be cheap. Really? 21-year-old with no experience who's completely unknown wants 14,000. And wants to be a sprinter. About we go important writer. Oh, this is odd. This is odd. What is he looking for? He is not happy as an important writer or with 12,000 a month. Leader. Okay. I do find this odd, though. I don't necessarily have to sign him. I can accept the deal or choose not to at the end. Because that's another 16. That just feels like a bit much for him. I suppose he is a step up from those guys, though. Okay, here's another one. Here's a puncher to replace Narvaez, who's more well-rounded. Okay, he wants a bit less. I'm finding it odd to go down. Right? It seems to be hurting us when we do. He's got some patience, though. We'll come down just a little bit. Okay, we're close. We're close. I think we'll get him signed. Maybe just right here. Oh! Okay. So we're at about 55. But that's good. We have the core. We're good on that. Now it's time to find a new leader. Egan Bernal, will you be the man? It's going to cost a lot. It's going to cost a lot, but is he the guy that puts us over the top? Wow, 11 points. Okay. 81,000? You gotta be kidding me. We can't get anywhere near that. I mean, okay. Well, that actually isn't that far off, is it? This would jump us to number 5 on the index. This would get us up there. This would do it. Egan Bernal would do it, and we're not far from it. But we only get a couple chances here. Oh, that made almost no increase whatsoever. Dang. Okay, so we didn't get Bernal. Lopez is still out there. He's going to ask for something similar. And it's going to cost us 11 points. Maybe we need to go on to these guys here. Look at our 77s. These guys are going to ask for quite a bit less. Where did I want to start? Lutsenko. I suppose what I need to look at is what's going to boost our position before we come back into that. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, we're weak on cobbles right now. Ooms helps. Ooms is going to pick that back up. Narvaez just hurt us on hills a little bit. So we are pretty balanced. So really now it's kind of just anywhere we can find some sort of boost. It looks like time trial and sprint are our strong suits. So we're looking at GC, hill, or cobbles as something to push us beyond the 3.5 stars we're at. You can see we're just slightly higher on these two already. So anything in this realm would help us out. And I don't think we've recovered the hills yet. So we definitely do want somebody who's going to have a little punch. Though, we did just add in another punchy guy. So we did find a replacement for Narvaez. So I think we're okay on that part. Let's get back to this. And so Seiko is going to give you cobbles and hills. That's a definite choice. Ciccone isn't necessarily going to help us out there too much, is he? And Van Baarle is going to give you cobbles and more time trial and some hills. I think Lutsenko is kind of the most well-rounded. What's the age? 27, 28? Ciccone's the youngest, but he's maybe the least beneficial to us of those three. They're all technically in the same interest range. So let's start with Lutsenko. Because that's a lot of good positives in there. He's not going to develop much, but we'll give it a shot. So interest is only moderately attractive, right? We didn't pick that up. That's ridiculous. We got all those guys into the high 90s, and none of them crossed that threshold. Multi-year absolute leader, and he's looking at 50,000. I think we probably are going to have to start right at that mark. Wow, that's not even close. Now it's going to take 70,000 to get him. Oh, okay. Well, that's a little over the budget that I was planning, but that also puts us right to the max budget that I was planning. And that does boost the team index if we sign Lutsenko. But I want to see if we can get these other guys for less. For one thing, we have the dossiers. We don't have to sign. We can skip some of these contracts, right? We don't have to go and sign each of these guys. We can turn around and let it go. We can pick afterwards based on the budget. We still have the dossiers, so we might as well see what we get. What do these guys charge? Where do we go? So Van Baarle, I have the dossiers. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I like what he's charging is a bit less. It's going to be more. So let's start at 50. And he takes it. He takes it right off the bat. And that did come out into that moderate. So actually, much more affordable. Much more affordable than Lutsenko. And the team index does see the jump. So I think we scratch Lutsenko and take Van Baarle for 20,000 less per month. And that's a massive difference. And this actually puts us in that range that we were looking at. But what's Ciccone going to cost? Since we have Okay, we'll go up just a little. Okay, I think our decision's made. It's going to be Van Barl based on what he's asking for. Chaconi's out for sure. What about a Mads Peterson? Who's going to give us a lot of different things, though not the mountain. Very much classics guy, but extreme potential. Still very young, just 24. Much more affordable. No sign of index, though. So where are we going to be at on that? Okay, 9th. And wow, we were very close. That's a maybe. That's a maybe. Or we sign him and let somebody like McNulty go, or Ooms. Maybe we let Ooms go. Or one of the other, there you go, 73 21-year-old Ardea. Save that 16,000. Bring in Peterson instead. Maybe we do Peterson, Van Barl, and McNulty. What does that add up to? Let's see, that's 50, 35, and we'll round up 16 on that one. That's 100. And then you take Gottwald or Ooms to max it out. So that's got to be enough. That has got to be enough. Van Barl, Pedersen, and McNulty, plus one of those two guys. So no Lutsenko, way too much money. But yes to Van Barl, yes to Peterson, and then yes to McNulty, and then one of those two. I think we're done. There's no one else to go into unless we really want to get to nitty gritty. Where are we at on? He didn't even go max. Those guys are all going to ask for a decent amount, so we're not going to get somebody cheap. Okay, these guys are ready to sign. We'll see how this goes. Van Barl. Confirm. Pedersen. Confirm. McNulty. Confirm. Okay, now, do we want to go with... And we did sign all those guys already, so it is possible. Gottwald or Ooms. Suppose we need to go back. Let's see where we're at right now. Let's see. How good is it? Oh, look at that couple rating going up. It's still got us at 3.5 stars. We need hills. We definitely need hills. That is the one area. So between Gottwald and Ooms, who's going to give us the bigger boost in there? So there you go. New team leader Van Barl. without a pull, Phillipson, you add in Peterson, and then bring back McNulty, and wow, that's looking good. But that's still 3.5. So that still does not feel like a guarantee, does it? Do we suck it up and take... What else do we have left, though? What was the 4 guys? Ciccone was a no. Lutsenko was a ton of money. Do we want to go after a Conchi, Bookman, or Tunison? I don't think those guys are going to boost us. Conchi might, that mountain rating of an 80 might be a boost on GC, but not necessarily on hills. Ardia, yeah, we're going to let him go. Gottwald, 75 on hills. Much better than Ooms. So I think we need to sign Gottwald as the other one. Let's start with that. Let's sign Gottwald. And that's the 210. That's the maximum that I was thinking. I'm afraid to do any more than that, as it might bleed us out. I was hoping to hit 4 stars, so that's still 3.5. It didn't really boost hills, so Gottwald, as much as he'll help us in that department. So do I need one more? I can't afford one more. I don't think I can go. I set a max. If I go beyond that, we're in real trouble. I mean, we're already going well over budget here. I think we're going to have to hope that this is going to be enough. I don't think there's going to be a change in here. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. That actually... Actually, at the moment, right, this is only at the moment, that has us all the way up to 3rd. We are not staying there. We're absolutely not staying there. But that means we are as close as you can get to 4 stars. Now, how many teams this year, right, I think we might have this. One thing to check here. We're only going to look at 2020. One 3.5-star team. 2. Just 2. Just 2 in the World Tour. 3.5-star teams. Okay, Continental Pro. How many 3.5-star teams? 1. That's us. That came after the season. 2 with Direct Energy. Okay, 2 up, 2 down, 50-50 split. We gained that 3.5 stars. We went from a 3-star team to a 3.5-star team after the signing period was over. after the teams were decided in October. Because between October and January 1st, we had Remco Evenepoel go from a 73, I think it was, to a 76. He leveled up massively. So he jumped from a 73 to a 76. So we went from Jasper Philipsen as our only plus guy to suddenly we had more, right? I don't know why it's not ranking these guys. It's putting the new guys in here, or new signings. But we went from one good rider to suddenly we had two good riders to now, right, we're looking at 4 good riders for next year. So we were just a 3-star team. So really there was only 3, and 2 of them made it to World Tour. Only 1 missed out. Now, looking at the list for next year, Team Index, of all the 3.5 stars that are listed right now, we are at the top of the list. Now, these guys are going to improve. But I think it's enough. I think it is enough. We're right on the edge. We are just about to 4 stars, which means there's, if there are going to be 3 or 4, we're going to be first on that list. That should be enough. I don't think I can afford to sign any of these other guys. And I don't think any of them, with the exception of Lutsenko, would actually help us at all. And we can't afford Lutsenko. Yes, he's ready to sign, but we can't sign him. He's just way too much. And Ardea, 73, nice climber, young, great, but 16,000 when he's only a climber? No. Ooms is the one that I'm looking at going, okay, maybe, just maybe. I mean, the classics, right? And it's only going to cost us 10 more. You know what? Let's do it. Screw it. Let's do it. Does that push us to 4 stars? Probably not. Probably does not push us to 4 stars. I'm going to laugh if it does. And maybe that's what we needed. No, it does not push us to 4 stars. But there you go. We even went a little higher than what I expected. Okay. This balance is going to shrink next year. It is. It's going to shrink. But there you go. We are 3rd in the index right now. 3rd. We're not staying there. We are not staying there. There are so many free agents out there that are going to instantly put teams above us. But man, oh man, are we improving and ready for next year? Our next race is just 2 days away. Let's squeeze one race into this one. And San Sebastian, 200 kilometers. It's a long one. I'm not going to do any cuts because at this point, the extra editing and rendering time, and I'm doing, for a long time I really kind of just stuck to just the PCM videos for my editing and rendering, and it takes a lot of time. But I'm sitting here looking at my sheet right here, and I've got 4 other videos to edit and render right now. One of them for tomorrow, the others within the next couple days. It's a lot. It's because each of them takes 2 to 3 hours to do, and then recording throughout the day and coaching gig and helping with the daycare and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a lot going on. All right, Philipsen's going to be here. We're going to hope to get him over the top. If we do, he can finish strong. That's the if he can get over the top. Narvaez is here. I'm sad we're going to lose Narvaez, but we do have a replacement in place. And man, oh man, we're going to get stronger for next year. So excited by that. very excited by that. The funny thing is, we're dropping 2, Cassart and Narvaez, but we're picking up 3 riders. So squad gets 1 bigger, but there are massive upgrades. 2 of the 3 anyway, massive upgrades from what we've had. So, whew, yeah. And the one kind of trading off with Narvaez is pretty much a wash anyway. So it would have been nice to get Bernal. That would have been real nice, and I think that would have guaranteed. And it did. Lutsenko with the others would have guaranteed our promotion, but I'm fairly certain that we've done enough to get to World Tour status for next season. Certainly hope we have. Everybody signed to multi-year deals, so next year there won't be much going on for us transfer market-wise because we signed everybody to 3-year deals in the first place, and then now we just signed everyone to 3-year deals again. So most of the current team is going into the second year of those 3-year deals. The new guys are going into the first year of 3-year deals. So we aren't going to have expiring contracts next year. We might actually have 0 expiring contracts next year, which means at best we're looking at signing maybe 1 rider in all of next season, making the transfer period very unimportant and really just making sure that we continue to have a little bit of development within the team. And considering most of the riders are young with high potential, that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, no challenge to the early breakaway, which is just 2 riders. I was about to say more are coming, except for that was our guys just coming forward. Everybody's forward and nobody's challenging. Those guys are out to a minute and a half already. They're going to be given a pretty good leash. Phillipson, unfortunately, a -2. Obviously, he's the best chance to do something. Gaudry, okay in a sprint, but he's no punter. Ooms has a little bit of pace, so maybe we work for him. Brian's certainly not going to... If Phillipson doesn't get over the top, Brian won't. Narvaez is the best chance to get over the top and then still do something once he does get over the top. As Barta and Owen are both going to give you a little bit of punch support to get over the top, but that's kind of that. So get these guys set for a long run and speed it up, and we'll sit back while these guys do their thing. There's only effectively 5 climbs on the day. You can see a couple other undulating, somewhat punchy areas. The big thing for San Sebastian is the distance, right? It's well over 200 kilometers in length, and of course the stamina ticks in at 160. So let's briefly take a moment to see how we're doing. Phillipson, unfortunately, on a -2. Stamina taking a bit of a hit. 70 plus, you're like, they can hack it. But now he's 68 stamina, 69 resistance today. That does hurt a little bit. 67 on the hills, 62 on the mountains, meaning, yeah, it could be tough for Phillipson to make it that far. We're going to need to get water here soon. Gaudry looking pretty dang good, though, and does have a little bit of pace. He is a 69 hill today, but he's terrible on the mountains. Ooms, probably not. Miguel Brian, go get that water. Narvaez. Okay, he's got a little boost today. That'll help him. But nobody's great. None of these guys have great stamina and resistance. So we could be looking at nobody at the finish, or more realistic, Narvaez left, and maybe squeezing into the top 10. We'll see what we can do. It's a 4.5 minute gap to just 2 riders at the front, and it's going to exhaust those guys being out there that long alone. When you're out front, you use that stamina up more quickly. So in the break, the stamina matters even more than when you're in the peloton on a stage like this one. So those two have very, very, very little chance. I mean, we'd have to give them a massive gap that we just can't pull back, no matter what pace they go or we go in the final stages. Wow, hello, as we go over this climb, we are drifting backwards. Brian especially. Come on, guys. Hang in there. This was unexpected. Brian looks like he might get dropped here, and some riders have been dropped. Come on, you can do it. Almost there. Almost there. Alright, he's going to hang in there. He's going to hang in there. Bit of recovery is on, but only so much. Brian working his way back up to the front. And there we go. Everybody back in a comfortable, safe position. That was close. That was close. And we're going to hit a very similar climb, if not the same climb. It actually looks like it could be the same climb again here in a little bit. I do think we are going to be circling back to that climb. We do need water. And this might be the time, yeah, we're in need of it here. We want to send Gaudry this time. Brian's pretty dang close to being spent. Hopefully he can get back up to the front before this little punchy climb. He doesn't. He's going to burn a little of energy. Yeah, he's okay though. Okay, we get through that one. And here we are, I think, having circled back. And, ooh, hello, there's a little split. It's back together though. Gaudry, why are we so far back, though? What happened to you? You decided that Philipson didn't need support, and we decided that Ooms didn't need support because of the splits. Alright, I think as we head into the climb this time, though, we're going to need to keep the pace up a little bit, but this is going to damage the field. We will not have 132 riders left. You can already see guys drifting backward. Keep up the pace. 90 is not doing it. So Brian's done. Who is he supporting? It was Ooms. So Owen, it's your turn. Support Ooms. Brian, go to auto. Told you not everybody was going to make it over the top. He very much does not. Leave him be. Philipson hanging in there. It's the biggest climb in the later stages. The last two climbs are short and punchy. So it's the last one where that mountain rating really plays a factor. Barta, why are you going? Why are you going back to get water right now? What the heck are you doing, Barta? This is not the time to get water, dude. And I sent somebody back to get... I sent Brian back to get water. Or no, Gaudry back to get water. Apparently he never brought it. Terrible timing. Support Narvaez, please. Get water after we go over the top. Not now. This is just a absurd time to go get water. You're going to have to wait. I'm going to have to manage that, make sure nobody else is going back. Gaudry is getting dropped. And Barta, since you're there, support Philipson. And Gaudry's going to go auto. Breakaway's been caught. Told you those guys had no chance this far out. And wow, this field has really thinned out. Gaudry is dropped. Not sure where in that he was dropped, but Barta again trying to go get water, but it is as we go over the top, so I suppose now it's okay. But don't drift back too far, Barta. Come on, get your water and start going forward before we see a split. Put your arm up. Or don't put your arm up and just start riding forward with bottles. Let's go, dude. he is really in the middle of an epic fail here because now Owen and Ooms are also trying to come get water because Barta is not doing his job. This is the last time we need water. We're past that stage. We did need it one more time, and I was going to be sending somebody right about now. But I'm not trying to send the whole dang team as Barta just avoids a crash. Reguigui in there. Tim Vellen's in there. Barta finally has water, but here comes Ooms and Owen anyway to grab water themselves right at the back of the peloton. Leaving Narvaez and Philipsen riding all by themselves. And all three of them now dropped. Why is Barta dropped? You got water ages ago. Are you... No, you're all the way back to Gaudry already. And look how slow they're still going. And they're still trying to get water. This effort is making my skin crawl. And Barta's been dropped. Now Narvaez and Philipsen go to the back to get water themselves. So the entire team has gone to the back of the peloton, one by one by one by one, and destroyed their race. Barta back to protecting Narvaez at least. These guys... Gaudry, sit up. Let these guys get back to you. There you go. Now, work together. Try to get back to the front. These guys still haven't even returned to the front.
The peloton has definitely accelerated, meaning that an attack is highly unlikely.
Another climb coming soon. This isn't it, though. Gaudry got left behind because Ooms and Owen are chasing hard. And they're nearly there. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay, Ooms and Owen. Narvaez is somehow off the front in a group of 9. It's back together. I'm okay if Narvaez ends up in a group of 10 riding off to the finish. Philipsen, he's getting swallowed up here. It's yo-yoing back together. But Narvaez is in a front group that really does have a legitimate split here. Owen and Ooms didn't make it. Their recovery, not enough. Barta, where are you now? He's toast, but there we go. Okay, so Barta is kind of done, but he's going to help Philipsen a little bit here. And then Narvaez, we're going to allow him to recover. And then when we get there, Narvaez will try to protect Philipsen as best he can. See if he can get him over the top. There's only one climb to go. Barta's sliding backwards, but again, if he even gives anything at all to Philipsen, it'll allow him to recover somewhat. I mean, the heart rates are right there where they should be recovering. I don't know why Philipsen's not showing signs of recovery right now. Should be. 108 riders, but none of my guys coming back. They're 3 minutes behind. Okay, here we go. We'll wait just a moment. No, you know what? No waiting. You're going to protect Narvaez. You're going to follow Narvaez. You're going to use your gel now. You're going to use your gel now. Narvaez, not yet. Yeah, I knew Barta was going to go back immediately, but even if he gave Narvaez like an ounce of protection, then he's doing something to help him. Philipsen hanging on. Through the first steep section, we're into that middle section. It levels off. It's going to start ramping up again. Philipsen, hang in there. Come on. Narvaez. We're nearly to the top. Here's that last steep red section. It's going to level off when we round this corner and go into that last orange section. We are right here now. Phillipson's done. He's going backwards. He didn't make it. Narvaez has made it. Here comes the acceleration over the top. Narvaez, use your gel. Group of 21 chasing a group of 3. It's Latour, Roglic, and Carapaz, apparently. No, it's Madaway, Uman, and Woods. Okay. Fine, whatever. And Narvaez. Why are you drifting backwards? Come on, dude. $3K. There's a group of 8 right out in front of me that just separated themselves for no reason whatsoever. And now we close that gap. 1K to go. Here we go. Narvaez. Narvaez moves forward, but he doesn't have the sprint ability here. He's got just a tiny bit of energy. Uman, Madaway, and Woods do take it from the break. Roglic, Bernal, Quintana, Mahorich, Youngles, Yates, and Yates are the top 10. We just miss out. Narvaez gets 14th. That's not that bad. Here comes Phillipson. Takes 58th. Barta takes 100th. Here's Gaudry. Pushing for the finish. 130th. And Miguel Bryan. Oh no, he's in last place. Oh, what a shame. He just went over the top. He just went over the top. Oh, poor guy. Well, the broom wagon right behind him is giving him a little push in the bum to get him over the line. And, yeah. Well, he's well within the time cut. I mean, the race just finished 20 minutes ago. That's not that bad. Alright, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Leave your comments below if you think that was enough. If those signings get us to World Tour status for next year. I think it was enough. Also, if you want to comment on the finances, do you think that will be enough to remain stable? It's definitely going to take from that balance. How much does it take from that balance, though? Is it going to be 300,000 gone at the end of the year? Is it going to be 400,000 gone at the end of the year? Mathematically, we're looking at maybe 400,000. So hopefully increased earnings will make up the difference. But we get a $25,000 increase in budget and we go and spend 110. So that's a massive increase. We'll see. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.